Faith Blackstone is their leading scorer. Trinity Moore is an Oral Roberts transfer. 5-game stretch in which they lost 3 games. Their shooting percentages were down. How about banking one in? University, and there you see the numbers bear it out. Top 20 in attempts and makes, and that's what we've come to expect from Hannah Hidalgo. 13th in the nation in field goal percentage defense. And the ball goes in for Traylor Walker.
Well, the zone from Stephen F. Austin really forcing Notre Dame. That was the first look that they got in the paint. Great pass by Olivia Miles. Olivia Miles sees the seam of the zone.
First game not until January 5th as she was coming back from an injury, deciding to use her final year of eligibility. She's off to a great start
against this 2-3 zone.
Roseby decides to put it up over Westbeld. Hidalgo, who's a really good rebounding guard at 5 per game, coast to coast. With a 2-time All-American. Good look, but passed it up to Miles. And fresh into the game, Liza Carlin.
You know, and it's tournament time, right? They've got their green nails painted, they're ready to roll.
Westbeld, 3 for 3. Notre Dame is a team with a lot of experience. No one on the Stephen F. Austin team has played in an NCAA game until today. Carlin,
who is now at West Virginia, and Coach Bishop was Mark Kellogg's associate head coach, and he said we talk almost every day, and we're talking all the time about different ways that we can find success. And Kate Koval,
10 points in the paint already for the Irish. They've gotten some threes, and now Hannah with the 2. She's got 6 for the Irish. There she is. Koval spins. Prosper hustling. Citron knew it.
It's the extra possessions. A couple of offensive rebounds. Size on the interior. When you're playing a zone, you've really got to be disciplined when it comes to boxing out.
And Koval absolutely rejected Traylor Walker. Ivy with 3 subs in the game right now. 3 reserves. Hidalgo with a little one-handed floater.
Well, she's going to get those mid-range pull-ups all day long.
Koval spins. Carlin, second offensive rebound on this trip, but it's taken away. And Sickle got it. That ends the drought. That beat the old record, which was 242. Significant, and that's a great look inside for Carlin. So that worked out well for his family to be able to see him.
He said his family, growing up, he used to drive up from Texas.
Family not too far from here. South Bend not far from the Michigan border. Citron. Oh, with the tough defense, but it didn't matter. Trinity Moore got it. Well, one of the best defenders in the conference, but then Citron is able to come down and answer.
That's one of the things that hurt them those last 5 games that we talked about. Their field goal percentage was down. Their 3-point field goal percentage was down. They stopped moving the ball and executing well on the offensive end.
Notre Dame's missed 5 straight shots. Citron with her second 3 breaks that string.
Just right at the end to send it to overtime. And she pumps her fist, right? That's about the extent of the expression.
And Sickle, her turn to knock down a 3. She has 2 of them today, and the second most for the Lady Jacks this season. 2 in a row for Sonia? Nope. Ball goes over.
Coach Bishop talking to us about the fact that it's the first time. Last year was the first time that those 2 had split. They played together at Oral Roberts, and how hard that was as Carlin gets another 2. How hard that was on Trinity.
At halftime and throughout the weekend, Cam Ward and Steph White here with you, where Notre Dame fell behind 6-0, but Stephen F. Austin getting a little bit too much Irish right now. Traylor Walker, shot clock into single digits now. Blackstone guarded by Citron, and then it's knocked out by Kova.
Nice find. That's a shot.
Sometimes she can be unselfish to a fault, and then you get it back to her, and she'll be all right.
But there's going to be moments, and there's going to be opponents where you're not going to get the second opportunity, right? You got to take the first one that's in there.
Citron that time could not prohibit Trailer Walker her second basket. Sorry, we sometimes forget Miles didn't play at all last year. That's another assist for Olivia. And what did she do in her first game back? Got a triple-double. Moore with the pose. Just under 41% right now, and that includes the last 5 games where her numbers have been down. King from the baseline with 9 points for Notre Dame. The most points she's had since January 30th. Maddie Westbelt.
Yes. She returned in January, came out of the gate hot, but really couldn't quite find her way. But she's going to be really important to a deep Notre Dame run in this NCAA tournament.
20 seconds to shoot. And Citron with 2 blocks on this trip down the floor. And Sickle with the inbound. They need a shot. They get it. Nice. Moore with good patience to find Van Sickle, who threw the ball in. Stephen F. Austin, the Southland champion, winning the tournament, off to a good start. Trinity Moore into double figures. That chance for a 3-point play.
That was a great cut.
Few days off. Miles somehow, that peripheral vision is super. Found King. And here's Hidalgo. 8 points and 6 rebounds for Hannah. Double figures with some style points. Citron behind the back. This place would have exploded if that would have gone in. King picks it up, puts it in. Roseby with the miss. There's Hannah, back to King, unselfish basketball.
Whether it's creating offense from defense with turnovers, getting those long rebounds, igniting the break.
12-0 run, broken by Trinity Moore. She's put on a show.
When you'd really like to see Olivia Miles get a couple of looks at the rim, see the ball go through the net.
Blackstone
here this afternoon has not been able to get going.
She was first team all-conference this year. Harlan, easy putback. Started out at Syracuse and did her tour. Citron stole it and finished with left hand.
It wasn't a 3-hour tour.
No, it was a lot longer than that.
That's
4 or 5 years.
Real old school reference right there.
Here we go, Gilligan's Island. Hannah Hidalgo. Citron tips it. 3 straight turnovers now. Forced by the Irish. This is when they are at their best. Good. Most recently on a 9-0 run against Stephen F. Austin. There's another block. And another one. Finish on the other end. Blackstone breaking the drought. Hidalgo. And Sickle had a good first half. Shooting the ball, coming in off the bench, and a good find into McConna Gardner. Freshman from New York. And then the block.
Yeah, great D by Gardner. It's a good job getting back and clogging those gaps.
And just that quick change of direction.
And then does this, right? Gets into you on the defensive end.
And Sickle, though, stuck with it. She had 8 in the first half, including a couple of threes.
You don't have time to celebrate, though.
With her 4th career 20-point game in the NCAA tournament. And then she gets back and plays defense. Gardner. And Citron just turns and shoots. Carlin gets it over to Hidalgo. Waning seconds, little lob to Westbeld. Turn, shoot, score. On ABC. Citron, good. Olivia Miles back in the game, still looking for her first field goal. Citron with another steal. Finds Prosper for two. Prosper's first points. Notre Dame with 5 players scoring in double figures this afternoon. And Sickle, nice. Citron inside, and there's the finish by Carlin. That was a heck of a catch by Carlin as well. Inside, telegraph pass, picked up by Carlin. Citron. South Carolina is coming up, the top seed. There's Prosper.
Right, you get the wrath of multiple people, and it's a tough job. You know, we get to sit over here, the benefit of the replay certainly, and critique, and I mean, you've got to adjust so much. I mean, we've seen it throughout the course. You got acceleration, deceleration, the block charges, all of those things.
Prosper with the play, Hidalgo with the finish and the foul. They saw Prosper getting it started, and Hidalgo finishing.
The transfer portal more so than high school kids, and how they are almost like a junior college now.
Lucy Jensen. Notre Dame trying to eclipse the 100-point mark for the 5th time this season. And it's Cernugal, the former walk-on. Second time Notre Dame has hit the century mark in an NCAA game. The last time was against Oklahoma 3 years ago. And now they look forward to playing Michigan.
And the 5th time they've hit the 100-point mark on the season, Pam. I mean, this is a team that can be explosive. Connections with these players who went on to other places and eventually found their way to him and TCU.
Prosper with a chance at a 3-point play. Inside 2 minutes. Big time 3. Long 3 for Key Roseby, a freshman from Frisco, Texas. Taylor Walker, a junior, another year left in her eligibility. Good block out by Kohal. Here's Cernugal. They want her to go all the way. And another score for a player. And the bench explodes. Kovar with the block. The only one who didn't get a field goal today is Olivia Miles, who left after hitting 2 free throws, turned her ankle, is not returned to the bench. That's the only thing that has not gone right for Notre Dame today, as that's rolled in by Taylor Walker. With a complete team effort today, Notre Dame shooting 56% from the floor. Hidalgo and Citron leading the way with 24 points apiece. They hit the 100-point mark for the 5th time this year.